coronavirus. What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. It's your boy coming at you. What's up? I have changed to a different setup, as I'm sure you can tell. I am using my camera rather than my phone for this video. We'll see how it goes. It's quite the rig to hold up. My arm does get tired. Let me give you a look of what's going on. So I've got Sony a7R IV with the 24mm G Master lens and the microphone, which is a Rode NT-G4 Plus, and a Joby GorillaPod. So yeah, that's the setup that I'm using today. I'm using autofocus on my camera, which an improvement from the a7R IV over the a7R III is the incorporation of active eye AF tracking in video mode, which in the a7R III was not possible, but now it is in the a7R IV. And I'm shooting in HD because the 4K video crops the image in, doesn't use the full sensor, but HD does, which is nice. It is quite the setup to hold up. My arm's already getting tired. So they kicked us off campus. That's always fun. A 5 days notice to completely change how you're living your life. Find a new living situation, no classes for 2 weeks, and then online classes. And while yes, it could be much, much worse, it does feel like your life has been uprooted and changed substantially in a very, very short amount of time. I think particularly for people of my generation, I was born 2 years before 9/11 happened. So when the World Trade Center was attacked, I was not conscious enough to remember any of it. I've been told stories, I've seen videos, I've made a documentary on the event, but I never really understood how life-changing and altering it was. And in my conversations with older people, I have shared that this feels like what I imagine 9/11 felt like. The coronavirus pandemic feels like that life-changing moment. The stock market has already taken a hit, the worst single-day hit in 30 years. But beyond the financial stock market side of things, it truly feels like the world is changing substantially. I want to go home and see my grandparents. At the same time, I could be an asymptomatic carrier, and I do not want to have their blood on my hands. I do not want to be the cause of their death or a serious illness for them. It's a really scary time. And again, particularly for people of my generation, for young people, this is the first world-altering moment that we have experienced and lived through. And each day that goes by, it seems to be getting easier and easier. It seems that our reality is adjusting to this new set of circumstances. But it is very weird. The concept of social distancing, which I don't think anyone is particularly used to. Intentional boredom, avoiding social gatherings, and also this communal, this societal need where we have to put the good of all above personal interests. For young people like me, the mortality rate is beneath 1%. I think it's 0.2%. But we are the most likely carriers of this disease as well. And we play a very large role in spreading it. Both fortunately and unfortunately are not affected as severely by it. Fortunately, meaning we're not affected by it, we're healthier. Unfortunately, meaning young people feel good enough to go out and live their life as normal and inadvertently spread this disease. I think it's been a lesson for a lot of young people in that regard. I hate speaking so poorly about my own generation, but frankly, so many of us are used to wanting something and then relatively instant gratification. And honestly, it's not excusing any other generation. Amazon Prime serves us all. The internet serves us all. Ride-sharing apps provide pretty instant transportation regardless of whether you have a car or not. And all of society benefits from those things, not just young people. But we, as a younger generation, have grown up with that. We haven't known any other world. That is our worldview. That's our kind of inherent unconscious understanding of how the world functions. When all of those systems grind to a halt, when going out to see friends, when going out to social gatherings, when going out to the gym, or living your life as you normally do, when those options are no longer available, it's very much earth-shattering. You're not used to it. You're not prepared for that. It's served as a quick and sudden reminder of how integrally we all are connected, how a single case of this disease can spread to hundreds of thousands of cases across the world in the matter of months. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this week a few photojournalistic posts regarding the COVID-19 outbreak, as well as some more artistic takes. And taking pictures is my personal method of coping. And one thing that's important, especially in moments like these, but in general, in any moment where stress is involved, is being sure to take care of yourself, knowing what works for you and what doesn't, what you can do to help yourself to calm down, to de-stress, to drop some of the anxiety that could be plaguing you, and honestly is plaguing a lot of people right now because of this virus. Through all of this, we're learning a hard lesson about community, what it means to be a member of society in both good ways and bad ways. As a member of society, you are capable of spreading a disease to everyone you come in contact with. And what goes along with that is you're equally capable of catching a disease from someone you don't know. In moments of tragedy, in moments of loss, in moments of panic, it's important for us to remember how strong a community can be. In this particular case, in this particular moment of loss and tragedy and panic, it's important for us to remember that we can spread diseases to those who are sick, to those who are well, to those who are young or old, regardless of whether we mean to or not. That's one of the side effects of being alive, of being human. But it's also important for us to remember the strength of community in moments like these. It's important for us to remember how people in our community, our friends, our family, can be there for us, even in really tough moments, to help us out with whatever we need. And at the same time, moments like these are reminders that we also are members of community, that we also have a role to play in keeping our neighbors, our friends, our family safe. And perhaps more importantly, even those that we do not know. Going to the people down the street who may not be capable of rushing to Walmart and pushing and shoving to grab toilet paper and asking them, do you guys need anything? Can I bring you any groceries? Would it be safer if I ran your errands for you? Because as a young person, I have a far less chance of suffering from this disease. But I can still achieve and perform basic tasks for you without coming in contact with you, dropping the groceries on your front porch, hand sanitizing and washing your hands as often and as frequently as possible. It's absolutely crucial for us to remember the importance of community, both for better or for worse. For worse meaning we can spread this disease if we're not mindful about it, and for better meaning there are people in our community willing to help. And at the same time, that's a call for us to be members of community, willing to help, willing to go out of our way to help others. Not because we have to, not because we necessarily should, but because we can. And that's the only way that we as a society, we as a world, we as a human species can get through an extremely tough and trying moment like we're experiencing now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any comments about anything I talked about regarding COVID-19, or if you have any comments about any of the posts on Instagram from this past week about the virus as well, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. I will respond to all comments. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, if you guys want gear reviews or more talk about composition like we did last week, or another how-to video, be it star trails, long exposures, or general portraiture lighting, product photography, whatever it is, let me know down below and I will do my best to answer all of those questions in a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.